guys, how are you doing? So today I want to talk about multitasking, which can be such a big curse to have, well, at least for me, and believe it or not, for a lot of individuals as well. I know that growing up, a lot of us believed or we've been taught that multitasking is the best way to go. That's actually a negative. I remember when I was going through such a rough period last year where I was just being so forgetful or I just had such a hard time concentrating. And I found out from this article called Multitasking, the Cognitive Cost of Multitasking. Okay, that did you know that your cognitive ability is being impaired because a lot of time when it's being impaired, it's because of you having the habit of multitasking. And your cognitive ability could be your problem solving, or your logical reasoning or thinking, being able to understand the language or being able to understand other things as well, and also your memory. And that's actually, well, it does make sense, but I didn't know that that could play such a big factor in the reason why your cognitive ability is being impaired. I was thinking that, hey, maybe if I'm multitasking, I could do the right thing or I could get things done, which is actually a big no-no. I've been learning for myself, especially being an online marketer. But let's dive into this article really quick. And there are a couple things that you need to know about multitasking in the brain. In the brain, multitasking is managed by what are known as mental executive functions. These executive functions control and manage other cognitive processes and determine how and when and in what order certain tasks are performed. According to researchers Meyer, Evans, and Rubinstein's, there are two stages to executive control process. The first stage is known as goal shifting, which is your mind deciding that, hey, I'm going to do one thing at a time. And the second is known as role activation and changing from the rules from previous tasks to the rules from the new task. Okay, now that right there is what we really need to learn how to practice doing is goal shifting, which is doing one thing at a time. And did you know that switching between these may only add a time cost of just a few tenths of a second, but this can start to add up when people begin switching back and forth repetitively. Now, that may not sound like such a big deal, but think about it. When you are driving and for example, if you're, watching TV and painting your nails at the same time, that may not be a big deal. But when you're driving in a car, a lot of people do this. Texting and driving could not only affect your safety, but other people's safety as well. And that's a very big deal when it comes to multitasking. Certain things are just not meant to be done more than once. A lot of things are not meant to be done all at the same time. And did you know that from researcher Myers suggests that productivity can be reduced by as much as 40% by the mental blocks created when people switch tasks. Wow, that is 40% of your time wasted away because of multitasking mentally. That's pretty bad. I don't know, depending on what you're doing, could be very important. Well, for me, it is, because I know that lately I have had such a bad time with being able to manage my time wisely, because I know that when it comes to multitasking for me, first of all, I can't focus. I'm very emotional and I can hardly function. And that also decreases my productivity of things that I could do one at a time. I have discovered that for myself, when I do things one at a time, I get things done in no time versus me being able to do 5 things all at once. Okay, unless if we are the mythical goddess Kali, who in a good way has more than one hand and can do so many things at once. We as humans mentally, we can't get things done that way. And I know that as college students, for myself, I had that very bad. And it really affected my grade because I was such a multitasker. I did not make time or schedule to be able to get things done. And one of the ways that you can be able to stop multitasking is scheduling yourself, having a routine and having a schedule to where you can get things done at a time. Cutting out distractions is a big deal for me. When you're over here listening to music, talking on phone, texting, playing a game, and then doing things that are very important at the same time, that's actually bad for you because you're not giving yourself or your brain the time it needs to get things done for that one particular thing. And believe it or not, when you're multitasking, you could be leaving, it's very bad for you because you could be leaving out very vital information in that particular task that needs to be done out because you were too busy trying to be Superwoman or Superman. And the best way to just do that is just when you're focusing on one thing, your brain functions better that way. If you actually give yourself this try, it really does work. And I think that's about it that I've covered for now. But like I said, drinking and driving, well, not drinking and driving, texting while driving, doing, let's say even with your safety, let's say you work at a factory or something, you're dealing with heavy machineries, and at the same time not focusing, you're doing something else that could cost your limb being cut off. Okay, and researchers actually found that people who do have a bad habit of multitasking are called heavy multitaskers, and I'm one of those, and I'm actually working on that for myself. And you should as well. If you're one of those people who just can hardly function while you're multitasking, you wonder why you're not remembering things or you just never get things done, that's because you need to stop multitasking. That's really not good for you at all. Things that could really be done, that you could get done, all because you decided to avoid multitasking, could be a really good thing that I would suggest for you. So if you're a bad multitasker, just stop while you're at it. Do yourself a favor and just do things one at a time. And for the meantime, I have a couple articles that I can put below down for you, for moms, dads, also for students and for people in general who really want to find ways of how to not multitask. Those articles are very helpful for you, so feel free to check that out. But that's pretty much it for now. I hope that helped, and until the next video, talk to you guys soon. Bye.